You wanna go for a ride? You wanna go for a ride? Oh, yeah! Yeah! Are you excited? High five. How was that ride, bud? Hey, no, you stay. Wow, so here we've got my big meaty meats for the Evo, and oh God, these are 275, 35, 18s all around. If you guys didn't know, I have 18 by 10.5 NK NT03s with a 30 offset. So today we're gonna be trying to test fit the, I had to get a 15mm spacer so that the wheel could actually clear the coilover. It's so thick and so meaty it actually almost hits the coilover. So today we're gonna be test fitting spacers on the car, and we might have to do some modifications to the OEM studs. We'll see how this goes, but here are my new tires. These are my Porsche tires. They were supposed to pick these up, and they didn't. Rip. Hopefully I can fit these tires into the Evo. If not, I'm getting the Jeep and making another trip today. Holy meat. We got him. Nope. Come on. Oh, nice. There is a big chance that I'm going to have to file off the OEM wheel studs today, so I'm going to borrow this little guy from my dad. Meanwhile. Okay, so funny moment here. As much as I love being correct, always being right, I think it's really important to admit when you're wrong. I installed the blow-off valve, or the whatever you want to call it, 50/50 goofy fart bubbles on backwards. I still am learning about these Evos, so I will happily admit my mistake. But with the way that this was wired, or the way that these lines were run, it looked like I had it correct. I just had to go to the store and reroute one of these little vacuum lines, and now that should be correct. I'll admit I should have known because of the turbo flutter, the compressor surge. I should have known that something was wrong. But now it should be okay. I just redid the vacuum lines and put everything back on. Let's see if it works. There it is.
I was wondering why I didn't have any sound.
Hey!
It even sounds better.
I'm an idiot. Okay, well now it's fixed. As much of a-holes as some people can be in the comment section sometimes it's helpful. I was reading comments and somebody was like, I think you did it backwards. I'm like, oh my God, you are completely right. I do want to clarify that the car would have been okay. But what it does do is that compressor surge is basically a bunch of back pressure on the turbo, and it's not good for the turbo. So I could kill the turbo over time. Now we're fixed. We actually have it now. It's gonna sound good, but that's not what we're doing today. That's fixed. Let's go and put these spacers on. Bro, we out here repping that carbon fiber gang. You already know what's going on. Oh, and by the way, I finally cleaned up the bottom of this wing where TJ sticker bombed my wing. Yeah, there's no residue on it anymore. I finally cleaned it off. Again, huge shout out and thanks to SD Motorworks. Today we're gonna put these 15mm ISC suspension hub-centric wheel spacers on. But the issue with wheel spacers is when you have a spacer that's small enough, sometimes the OG studs will stick out beyond that and they can actually hit the back of the wheel. So I'm gonna test fit not only these with these wheels, but most importantly these spacers with the wheels I'm gonna be putting on after this. I mean, these are literally the reason why I got spacers. Oh my God, that full charged Matco life is... Thankfully, these wheel studs are pretty short as is, so I'm not really sure. 15mm should go to about right there. So we'll see, let's test them on there. Ooh, these are nice. Dang. These are actually probably some of the nicest spacers I've ever bought. That's tight. So here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna put them on just like this. On the original, before you put the cone nuts on, you always really wanna use some Loctite. Now, I'm just testing right now, so don't get scared. Here we go, spacers are on, and here's the dilemma. Usually, whenever you get spacers that are 25 millimeters or larger, you never have to deal with this because an extra 10 millimeter will put that to about right here or so. So you never have those sticking out. But the thing about that is, some wheels will actually allow this to happen if they're designed to have some kind of weight cut out right there. And some wheels do and some wheels don't. We're gonna check this DOS wheel, the wheel that it came with. And it actually does have some stuff cut out. So I actually think I might be able to put these on. I need to see if the NTO3s actually have them. All right, they do have little pieces drilled out. Let's see if they get bolted on all the way. All right, these wheels have been tightened. You can see that that's really not that much of a spacer. It's just enough. And check this out. It gives me so much more clearance back here. And like I said, I actually have done some research, and I have seen that that this is the exact setup that anybody with this wheel has done. So no touching the coilover, you'll have no flex there or anything like that. Not that I honestly would have anyways, but I just wanted to be really careful. Oh, daddy, look at that poke. Oh. Now if you look at the back of the wheel, you look at these little inserts right here that are drilled out, there's been no contact points on any of them. So boys, we good. We're gonna have to get an alignment for sure, run a little more negative camber in the front and the rear. But there's nothing wrong with that on an all-wheel drive car. Because guess what? Understeer gang, bro! Really good news is these wheels fit as well. Oh man. This car actually, this alignment is probably one of the most conservative alignments I've ever seen on an all-wheel drive car. On my Subaru, it wasn't even a stancy thing. I had like negative 2.5. Actually, no, I had negative 2.8 degrees in the front and then negative 2.6 or something like that in the rear. I promise you this thing probably doesn't even have -1. It might have -1 all the way around. So I'm probably gonna go to an alignment similar to that because I like grip, I like traction, I like some form of oversteer. Honestly, let's just be honest. Camber looks good. All right, I'm gonna bring her up and then set her down to see how it sits on the ground with the spacers, just so we can know, do we keep them on overnight or do we take them off and wait for those to go? I don't know, let's see. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Oh, daddy. Oh. Okay. We definitely need some negative camber, but dude, with like literally a half a degree of negative camber more, maybe even another degree, that would be so flush. So this wheel has a plus 15 offset with a 15 millimeter spacer. That effectively makes this a 0 offset wheel. And the fact that I love Evos because they can do that. On my Subaru, I'd have more poke than this because the hubs were so far out. The track width on the Subarus were so far out. I had pulled fenders all the way around with a 27 offset wheel that was 9.5 inches wide. Unheard of. I'm so happy I can finally do a nasty wheel on this car. Money. Oh my god, dude. Imagine how much freaking meat. There's gonna be so much sausage on this car. The rears, I know for a fact, I'm definitely gonna have to roll, which is not a big deal because it's easy to do and it doesn't affect the way the car looks at all. It's very easy to do, especially if you know how to do it right. The fronts, I probably don't have to roll, but I probably will anyways, just because I'm gonna try my absolute best to avoid pulling any fenders on this car. I just don't want to have to do that. It looks pretty good on some cars, but I like to try and retain stock body as best as I possibly can. Okay, now that I'm looking at this though, the rears, only the rears made the tiniest bit of contact, but they were flush. I checked and triple checked again. So I might have to end up modifying it a little bit before we put these on. Oh my god, dude. Need negative camber. What even is this alignment? It's like straight up and down almost. I would say that's like -1, maybe -1 degrees. If this was -2, 2.5 back here, there would be no poke at all and it would be so sick. It might look a little ricey right now just because it doesn't have the correct alignment, But I'm telling you what, you guys gotta trust me. I know how to build my cars. I've made some pretty cool cars before. But you look at the other side, this side is, I mean, it's really not that much, it's not like it's that much worse. The rear's pretty perfect. The rear is about as low offset as you can get without having to roll the fenders, but this actually does rub. So here we go on the side that does not have spacers on with a terrible alignment. And with a terrible alignment again, here's the side with spacers on it with a little bit of ricey poke.
A few moments later.
Right now, boys, I just want you to know I am hecking bamboozled. I just did some measurements, and the reason why the end case cleared on the front was because the rear studs are longer than the front studs by like 3 millimeters, 2-3 millimeters. But check it out. Pay attention to this black dot right here, okay? That black dot from that corner of the cardboard is how long the other ones are. It's considerably shorter. It's not that much different, but it's just enough to where those wheels might have a little bit of an issue. So if anything, I might just have to take something and file it down instead of cut. I could still get the wheel on there, but the problem is it might start shaking. I don't know. I really want the NT03s on, so I'm not gonna let anything stop me. I am not particularly a fan of like stance setups that look like this. I know some people actually do like poke like this. I'm not entirely sure why, but you know, as you hear all over the internet, to each his own. Haters gonna hate. But really, to me, I mean, obviously I still need an alignment. I think that's the only reason why it just looks like poop flakes right now. But honestly, it looks kind of dope. If I just had a little bit more negative camera, it would look actually so sick. But to me, every time I see a car that looks like this, I'm like, okay, he either ran out of money and couldn't do the right thing or just didn't do his research. Honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world. It could look much worse. I just need some negative camber to definitely fill in that gap and make it a little bit more flush. Doesn't look half bad. That looks pretty bad. Okay, there we go. Let's look at it this way. Baby girl is gonna be nice and thick. Should be nice and thick. I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish today. I'm happy I know that these do still fit. I either just need to impact the crap out of them to press into the alloy, but I don't want to do that because they might crack. Or I just need to file down the studs a little bit. Now, that's not a hard thing to do. So tomorrow, whenever I get these tires mounted, we'll see how it fits. Sometimes it might even, it honestly might be just enough to where it just touches like the engraved wording on the back side of the wheel like I showed you earlier. So we'll see. But right now, she aggressive, boy. She thick. As I'm editing this video, I realized I did not end it. I'm currently in my underwear, so I don't care. I'm gonna end this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm about to go beat some cheeks at Fortnite because I'm done editing. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow's the wheel, not reveal, but tomorrow's the wheel video, and then Friday we're gonna be straight piping it. Or my Friday, your Monday. And also remember, season 3, 5.3 is out on Monday, so make sure you're at the site. Love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out and be victorious. Beat some cheeks. I've never said that on a video before. I probably will never say that again. So remember this video. Make sure you guys watch those 2 videos I have right in front of you. If you have not seen them, make sure you watch them. If you have watched them, then I would say watch them again because you're my homie, you know?